Hey guys, today I'm gonna be working on number 1910, which is remove all occurrences of a substring. So given two strings s and part, perform the following operation on s until all occurrences of the substring part are removed. So find the leftmost occurrence of the substring part and remove it from s. Return s after removing all occurrences of part. And here they tell you a substring is a contiguous sequence of characters in a string. So we check here example 1. We're having this input and part is A, B, C. Now according to the description, we need to remove first the leftmost occurrence of the substring. So we go here, we can check the answer is DAB, but if we check the operations, first they remove ABC from the leftmost one. Then they remove this one here. And in the end, after having this substring, they're removing the last one and they return DAB. And same thing in example 2, we're having part XY. And if you check here, we have 4Ys and 4X. So of course the answer is gonna be AB. Now, to visualize this in a better way, we can check here. Here we're having input. We're having this input that we got in the example. Now here in step 1, we're taking DA, ABC, and here we stop. So if let's say we're gonna be looping here and we're having these characters in a list, here we're gonna stop, then we're gonna check, okay, are the last 3 elements equal to part? Since in this case part is length of 3. If they are equal, if it's the same string, then we create a new list using slice in Python, which would give us DA. Then we loop again. And now we're having DA and we continue here. This is here, it's over. This is removed. We continue, we have BAA, BC. This whole thing would be added here. Now in this case, we're having again ABC at the end. Because we have ABC at the end, we remove it, and then we would have DABA, and we add BC, which is at the end here. We add it here. Then we check again, is ABC equal to part? If it is, then we remove it, and we would have DAB, and this would be the final solution. So how do we, now that we already visualized it, how can we check it? How can you write it in the code? If we check here in the code, what we can do is first create a list. Then we can get the length of part. So here ln part. Now here we're looping. As we said, we need to do a normal for loop. Then here we add each character in the list. Now here we need to check if the length of the list is greater or equal to length underscore part. Then we enter this condition. Now, so basically here we're looping, as we said. First, we need to get this input. We need to go through each character. Then in step 1, here we are checking if the length of this list is greater or equal to part. If it is, we enter this condition. Now we need to do what we have visualized here, which is this part here. So now what we do here, if part, which is ABC in this case, is equal to the last 3 elements in this list. So to do this, we can just do like this. So in this case here, the join will return for us a string. and this here is basically minus 3 to the end. So basically we get the last 3 items, which would be A, B, and C in this case. And then if it's equal, we just come here, we can get the size to know the difference. So what we do is size the length of list minus length underscore part. So now here, what did I do? I know that this is gonna be 3. The size of this is 3, and this here depends how many characters we have. If we have 5, then it would return 2 for us. Then here we create a new list, which would be like this. Now here we're creating a new list with the new size. So here this in Python is called slicing. So here in our case here we have 5 elements in the list, and ABC is equal to part. Then what we're doing here is we're getting the difference, which is the length of part, it's 3 minus, so 5 minus 3 would give us 2, which would be these 2 characters, which is D and A. And then here we create the new list, and this here is slicing. This basically means we're doing something like this. So list 2 dots 2. So this would be 0 and 1. We'd take the 0 index and the first index, and it would exclude the second index. And now in this case, it will keep looping as we checked here. We would have DA, then it would go again to the list.append, and it would add the other characters, which is B, A, B, C, and it goes through the same process. So now all we have to do is just return, and again we need to return a string. So we convert this list into a string by doing this, and now we can run it. And here we can see it gives us a correct solution. Now we can submit. And here, as you can see, this would be our solution for this problem. And now in this case, the time complexity would be O n times m. Why? Because here in this for loop, I'm looping n times. But in this case here, when I'm doing this join, I'm doing this m times. So this would be OM times n. And yeah, this would be our final solution. I would say it's a medium problem, but it's not super difficult once you get the hang of it, once you know what needs to be used and done. It's mostly string manipulation. You add the characters in a list, then you are basically doing string manipulation. You're removing the last elements that would be equal to part, regardless if it's 3 or 2. And then you create this new list, and you keep looping until you pass through all the elements and you get the correct solution. And that's it, guys, for this number. I hope you understood it, and I hope the explanation is clear. If you didn't understand, please tell me in the comments, and I will try to explain it in a better way. And also, please tell me if you like these kind of videos and what I need to fix in these videos, and what you don't like and what you like. And that's it, and see you in the next video.